Hello world, Michael here. It's been quite a while, so I figured I'd do a check-in video, talk about how I'm doing, what's been going on, what I've been up to, and specifically guilt and shame because that's kind of been on my mind these past few weeks, um, especially at work. Um, I've been also trying to, I don't know, navigate through those feelings and thoughts because they are there. They are consistently there, and it is exhausting. It is very difficult for me, and I've been finding myself like looking for videos or reading articles or people's experiences on uh, guilt and shame, or like in a general sense, like mistakes they've made and how they forgiven themselves or even just forgiven others. And I'm having a hard time forgiving myself for the things I have done recently that have led me to where I am today. And it's consistently on my mind, especially now that I'm back, or now that I am employed again. And just thinking about how I threw a career away due to just poor decision making and not respecting people's boundaries and myself, including myself. I didn't like. I've been thinking like, oh, do I want to talk about the exact experience or like the exact mistakes or decisions that I made? I don't know. Maybe at some point, um, I'll do a video, but for now, it's just general sense. I don't really want to do the cut the bullshit and talk about it kind of a thing, just because it's there. I am dealing it within, um, and that's another point that I wanted to bring up. I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but like the only person that's gonna, I don't know, help is myself, which is causing, I don't know if the right word is resentment or something else. Just feeling like can't count on anyone. The only person that can help me is myself. I can't ask for anyone else's help, or I can't depend on anyone. The only person I can look up to is myself, or well, not look up to, but person I can go to, which is a double edged sword because I don't really believe in myself, in that ability to be able to do that. That's just, I don't know. It just brings up hopelessness and not being. I don't know if it's not as me not being able to take accountability, but I figure I am because I'm trying to work through it all. But it's like it's freaking hard. um, it's just like when people say like I like people will just sometimes say like, just move on, just you know forgive and forget kind of a thing, move on, accept and just go do something, keep busy. I was like, I don't know, I feel like that's dismissive, or it's just like didn't whatever you did didn't matter, or what I'm trying to do doesn't matter, or whatever. And then my brain will be like, oh, I don't matter, and blah blah blah. But circling back, I'm really hard on myself. I'm really good at that. I almost want to put that on my resume and just be like, I'm really self-critical. But it doesn't help me. It doesn't help in any kind of circumstance, I suppose. Um, but yeah, these past couple weeks, specifically at work, I had a few experiences where I saw certain people that I used to work with. Specifically, I saw my former lead that I kind of look up to when I was working at my previous job. And he also told me like he kind of sees me becoming a lead if he were to get promoted, which he ended up getting promoted and someone else got the lead position. And yeah, and just like seeing him at my new workplace, he didn't call me by name. I called him by his name. And I had thoughts on that, like, oh, like he probably lost all respect for me or whatever it is, or hates me or whatever. And I don't know, I froze kind of just like, or just felt also like shame, like, oh fuck, he sees me that I'm here. And like people where I work, people that work there, we don't make a whole lot of money or whatever. And it's kind of known, I suppose, in that agency or whatever you want to call it. So it's just like I have stooped down to a low level of, I don't know, in my career, I guess, or my just work employment timeline, whatever you want to call it, and just feeling embarrassed. Like, oh, he sees me that I'm working here now. I'm just like, and like after like that, I don't know, experience happened, I'm just like, oh, I kind of felt like I had these thoughts where like, oh, I should have like said something like in regards to like, or I should have apologized for the things I've did, and for like letting him down or letting the department down, because I'm still beating myself up over it. And I don't know. I'm thinking about that right now. I'm just like, what would it do? What any good will that do? I mean, I want to say like nothing. I don't even know if it would do anything for myself. I don't know if it will do anything for that person, and I don't think he's that type of guy. Just for the time that I've known him and talked to him about stuff, because he just doesn't seem like that type of guy. But anyways, after that, it just made me think of just the events that happened, the decisions I made, the things I've said, the mistakes that I made at my time when I was working for that person, and just replaying those events, replaying those things I said to certain people, and just things I did in general sense. It was not a good time, and I just wanted to run away, wanted to hide. Yeah, it sucks because I don't remember if it was the same day or it was the next day or whatever. But I saw another person that I technically didn't work with them, but whenever I had questions, I would like refer to them if my lead was not there at the time. And I came into an instance where I didn't know how to do something. I would ask them, and I don't think they recognized me, and I didn't say hi or anything to them. But again, it just triggered just the thoughts of like, oh, of the things I did, the mistakes I said, did, and whatnot. It just all popped in my head, and it doesn't help. And I just know that that's happening, and it sucks. And then another day, I saw another person that I used to work with, and ended up talking to them about like, how's it going and whatnot, and just about how their work's going and whatnot, and they asked me like if I'm still blah blah blah, but no, I'm like, oh, I work here now. And I guess they wanted to ask something, or they wanted to push forward, but they didn't. That's how I was reading. I don't know, interaction, but they didn't. Anyways, didn't talk very much, but it's just another person that I kind of work with, and it makes me think like, oh, of those mistakes I did and whatnot, and I regret them, and like the people involved, I wanted to apologize, but I don't know. I keep like reading, or maybe not keep reading, but I read like, oh, the best apology is like to learn from it and make sure you don't make those mistakes again. Um, and there's some truth in that. I do agree in some points, and also like, sometimes I put this thing in my head where like, if you like hurt someone, mentally or physically or whatever, or you did something to upset someone, like, I put this in my head where like they don't want anything to do with you. They don't want to hear from you ever again. They don't want to see you. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to. They just want to put it in the past and move on, which I wish I could do. But I put that in my brain where I'm like, they don't want to. Like I can't apologize, and I feel like also because I have the tendency to over apologize. I'll keep saying sorry. And I tried to like put a script in my head where I'm like, what, like exactly what are the things I'm sorry about? Like, how would I articulate that? But at the end of the day, I'm just thinking like, can I even apologize to myself? And I don't know. So I don't know. Shame and guilt, I feel like for the most part, it's like eating myself alive. It's making me feel like I don't deserve to be at my current workplace. I remember talking to I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous video, but I remember talking to the store manager there, so to speak, because there's going to be a permanent position, but it's for lower pay. Going to open up, and he ended up talking to me, and I was just like, if you have someone else in mind, if someone else wants it, like I would pass it up and give it to them rather than me. I even told, the store manager, like, I don't think I deserve, the position or whatever. And in a general sense, being at, I don't know, a place where like people shop, I don't know, I have a tendency to put like a memory with like, if I smell something, if I see something, the memory comes back, or the events pop up, or like the actions, like they become clear again. Well, maybe not clear, so to speak. I mean, more like the emotions that come with those, which is interesting that I've been noticing this like over the years, because it's been like, I want to say maybe it's been 2 years now since I quit my last job. Like, I've noticed that I've lost details of like things I've said, things I've done, but I still feel the emotions of like, oh crap, I messed up. I made this huge mistake. And it's becoming blurry where I'm just focusing on the emotions, I suppose. Then I guess what the actions, even though like I kind of have a vague or a general sense of what I said and what I did, or the things I said and the things I did, which is interesting because then it just becomes a general blur, and then it gets, I don't know, focused on like emotions of how I feel. Yeah, just feeling like I don't deserve to be here in general. And just don't feel like I deserve, I don't know. I feel like I don't deserve forgiveness. I don't feel like I deserve joy, happiness, successful life, or whatever that may look like. And I don't know. I don't know. A little shifting gears here, though, because it coincides with that. Just with all the the guilt and shame and just an, I don't know, negativity in a sense. It's like being at a store, I guess being in the customer service industry, I guess you could count it like that. I mean, I'm stocking stuff at a store, essentially. Um, and dealing with customers and dealing with coworkers, I suppose. I don't know. I've been noticing this. I don't know if it's disdain, hatred, or just, it's not, I don't know if it's impatience, but I don't know. People are dumb, myself included. And I don't know, I'm just tired of dealing with it. um, and it puts in my head, I start thinking like, oh, people suck. People only care about themselves. Um, people only want what's best for them, all those kind of things. And I mean, those thoughts don't help. They just make things worse. Like thinking about people who don't care about other people and whatnot. And it creates this resentment, I suppose, to people who seem successful or who seem okay. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for my life. And it makes me like that. Saying that, I'm just like, man, I threw a career away, and it just circles back to regret, and then the guilt, and then the shame. Like, maybe I just deserve suffering. I don't know. There was a saying I used to tell myself, like, I'm suffering for the goodness of others, so other people can be successful or live a happy life or whatever. I'm not saying I'm trying to take credit for that, but sometimes it seems that way. Um, yeah. And I don't know what else I want to talk about, but those things were just on my mind. Just, I don't know, losing the faith of humanity. Maybe I'm also getting impatient with just being around people. Which is weird because then it kind of instills loneliness, and it's like it's weird because it's like I like to be alone, but I also crave to be around people, but maybe only sometimes, and it depends. But maybe that just means like, oh, I need to just recharge my social battery. Maybe, I don't know. But there's this also the fear of abandonment because being that person to like reach out to people like consistently, and then I don't get that in return. I'm just like, well, I'm putting out this energy or invitation of wanting to be around someone, or like even just asking questions like how you're doing, what are you up to, or like just making jokes or sharing news or something. um always being that person to uh, start the conversation or interaction. It becomes tiring. Maybe that's a different video, but yeah, just struggling with shame and guilt, um, and a whole other stuff. But those were on my mind, and trying to, I don't know. I like, man, in my head, I'm just thinking like I don't deserve forgiveness, and I'm just like, how am I gonna forgive myself? Like knowing that maybe I don't deserve forgiveness, but like maybe I can just forgive myself. And a video or a couple of videos that I watch about forgiveness or self forgiveness is just like, how would you talk to like a friend? I'm like, I don't know if I have friends. Like, how do I talk to someone? You know, if I had a good friend and they're telling me like, oh, what they did and whatnot, and like, how would I treat them or what would I say? And I'm just like, a part of me says I don't know because that's the easy answer, but like acknowledging like they messed up and saying like asking, I don't know, like what did you learn from it, um or even make comments, oh now you know what not to do, which is weird because I'll say that, but then it's just like in my head I'm just like, I don't know. um I don't know if I deserve another chance or whatever. And it's just where I'm at in my life. I'm just like, man, I keep thinking about like I threw a career over, I threw a career away, I threw opportunities away, and now either one, I'm starting over, or two, um, I'm in a void. I don't know, of working at the bottom, I guess. Yeah, wanted to check in, wanted to do video. Um, Still here, rolling the punches. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. Till next time, bye bye. Have a good one.